Welcome into this Thursday edition of Jags A.M. Kainani Stevens, Brian Sexton, John Oehser with me today as we're getting ready to talk about the Jaguars-Raiders game going to happen on Sunday as this team heads to Las Vegas a little bit early this week to get ready for a matchup, their first after the bye weeks. Let's talk about our big things today, brought to you by GEHA, Government Employees Health Association, benefits for federal employees and retirees. Big thing number one, bye-bye. Bye week last week for the Jaguars, bye week last week for the Raiders. Liam Cohen talked a little bit yesterday about what he wants to see from his team coming out of the bye.
The teams that maybe identify, I guess you could say, an issue, right? Issue or somewhere where you're underperforming / what you're doing well, and either coming into this week, right, of your next game, addressing those tangibly. Like, all right, we want to improve in this area. Well, if you just say it, might not get done. You usually, from players, you get what you emphasize very, very often. And so if there's areas where you're trying to show and improve, not just talking about it or getting the stats and showing it, well, going out, addressing it in the meeting, showing the examples, but then applying it to practice, applying it to the walkthroughs of, okay, guys, these are the tangible areas where we need to improve and what we want to improve upon, and actually go attack it.
Brian, we've seen a lot of behind the scenes, what the team's been working on, addressing some of the issues, penalties, mistakes, kind of self-inflicted stuff. But the Raiders are going to come out this week doing similar things. We both had disappointing games going into the bye week. What's it going to take for the Jaguars to actually correct these issues?
Listen, what are the issues, right? I mean, it's a long list, whether it's lack of sacks or too many sacks given up or penalties or third down. Look, if you get the running game started on offense, I think that changes the dynamic. Look at the numbers. The last 3 games, the Jaguars have not run the ball very effectively, and they have found themselves behind the 6, having to convert on third down and long, and that, of course, leads to holding penalties or illegal man downfield penalties. There have been a lot of them. If you get the running game, and I suspect, especially after watching practice on Wednesday, I suspect that is a major area of focus for this football team. The ability to run the football like they did the first 4 games, it will solve a lot of problems. It will calm down an offense that was out of sorts the last 2 games in particular.
Yeah, I think what Liam said during his, the quote we ran, coaches do believe that if you emphasize something hard during a week, you're going to see it on Sunday. He's been talking about penalties and pre-snap stuff all season. I'm sure they've addressed it in practice all season, but his emphasis on it since the Rams game has been so big. I think he'll be disappointed on Sunday if we see a repeat of Seattle and the Rams, which was so much pre-snap stuff and so many avoidable issues. So to me, that's the storyline this week. Can they cut those things out? If they do, they can get to all the things that Brian was talking about.
Playing smart football. Big thing number 2, going to be back in action. We're talking about the Raiders. Brock Bowers is going to be back in there. He was dealing with an injury previously. Liam Cohen talked a little bit earlier this week. Actually, let's hear from Coach Cohen. He talked a little bit about what Brock Bowers does on the field.
He gets in and out of breaks so well. I know he was like 40-something inch vertical coming out of high school. He's a very good athlete. He's like what you define as a football player. I mean, he just has a knack for getting open. He's harder to tackle than maybe just looking at the tape. Like, he'll break tackles, drag people down. He knows how to wiggle and separate, and also the contested catch ability. So, very good player. Have a lot of respect for him.
John, we saw firsthand what Brock Bowers can do when they played the Raiders last year. Now with him back in action, what kind of problems does he present?
Well, sometimes in this league, we've seen it for the last couple of years. Sometimes Hall of Fame skill players win games. Jamar Chase, Devontae Adams. I'm not saying Brock Bowers is a Hall of Famer. He's in his 2nd year. But he's got that level of talent, that level of ability. And when he's been healthy in the NFL, that level of production, him being back makes this a dramatically different Raiders offense. He's the kind of guy that you can play well on 1st and 2nd down, and then it's 3rd and 8, and then it's 1st and 10 because they throw him the ball, Brian. He makes this a much different dynamic for the Raiders offense.
2 guys in the locker room yesterday, John and Kai, that were focused on Brock Bowers. The first was Trayvon Walker, who played with him at Georgia. He just smiled and said he's a great player. Don't matter what you ask him to do, whether it's to stand up and get down the field or whether it's to put your hand in the ground and block someone, he's just a great player. And the other was Jordan Lewis. Now, normally you don't talk to a cornerback about a tight end, but this is the main receiving threat for the Las Vegas Raiders, and they will put him out wide. They'll move him into the slot. Jordan Lewis talked about how the cornerbacks have to be very respectful because he's tall, he's got length, he's got strength over most corners in the league. The Raiders use him and will create mismatches, and he's the type of guy that they will look to first, they'll look to second, they will throw the ball even when it appears he's covered. He's a tremendous football player and changes the dynamic for a Raiders team that hasn't played very well recently.
Our final big thing today is going to be no quit. As we look to the other side of the football, Max Crosby is obviously the name that sticks out. Trevor Lawrence talked a little bit about his energy and the no quit attitude.
Really good player, very good. He's one of those guys. You know, there's a handful of them in this league. I mean, a lot of great players in this league, but as far as just those defensive edge, defensive end, pass rusher guys he's just constant, nonstop. I think that's what is admirable about his play is that it is just such a high motor. Obviously, he's athletic and he's skilled and strong and good instincts, but he plays really hard. So, and that's something where he makes a lot of plays because of that.
Now, Brian, Max Crosby didn't practice yesterday. I have a feeling he'll probably find his way onto the field this weekend, though. And that, like what Trevor was just saying there, he doesn't quit, so you can't just block him once. You have to continue and follow through on it.
He's a great player, and when you talk to people all around the league and they talk about the Raiders, he's the first name that they go to. I asked Robert Hainsey, the center, about him, and Robert won't see him over him very much, but he talked about communication being the key with Max Crosby, and everyone knowing where he's at and what the blocking scheme is, and him as the center identifying and being able to get the team, the offensive line, together to understand that 98 doesn't ever stop. So they've got to know where he is at all times, and they will be very aware.
Yeah, you need to run well, and you need to get a lead in this game to keep Max Crosby from being as much of a factor as otherwise he could be. If this game gets close late, the Raiders have two guys they can depend on for big plays late. Well, one's Bowers, the other one's Crosby. You don't want to be in an obvious passing situation late in the game with Crosby knowing you got to pass, because he's, as Trevor said, he's one of a handful of guys, Watt, that in this league, Myles Garrett, who if you're up, even if you double team him late, he can wreck your game. So be up more than 10.
Yes, that's a good plan. I like it. Stay with us here on Jags A.M. Coming up after the break, I check in with Raiders reporter Levi Edwards to get a more in-depth look at the game for Sunday.
Hello, I'm Dan Fields. For over 50 years, Fields Auto Group has been America's premier family-owned luxury auto group, selling the most iconic brands in the world. We understand the luxury customer and provide an extraordinary car buying and service experience. It's not just about selling cars. Fields is focused on building lifelong relationships. We invite you to visit Fields and enjoy an honest and memorable luxury car buying experience.
Introducing the Jag Stack at Firehouse Subs. A sub so bold they had to name it after the team that roars. Packed with protein and made to satisfy a football-sized appetite, it's stacked with honey ham, smoked turkey, and roast beef. Topped with provolone, fresh veggies, and their new pickle drizzle. Order the new Jag Stack in the app right now. Available for a limited time at participating Jacksonville Firehouse Subs restaurants. The hottest subs in Duval.
Jags fans, this one's for you. If you've got MyGate rewards, you're already in the game. But now you've got a shot at the ultimate prize, meeting QB1 himself, Trevor Lawrence, at Everbank Stadium with 3 friends by your side. With the MyGate Rewards Gatorade Club, every 5 Gatorade items you purchase equals 1 entry toward your chance to win. Stack them up and score big. See store for details. Gear up for the season. Gates got you.
Floridians, do you know how close you are to freshness? It's not a plane or a ship ride away. It's not across an ocean or over the equator. It's not even a far drive. The peak of freshness is at your grocery store, and it's called Fresh from Florida. Fresh from Florida is local produce grown by farmers right here in our own state, meaning it's always fresh, always in season, and always mouth-wateringly good. Look for the sunny Fresh from Florida logo or ask for it by name where you shop.
Jacksonville's own Dreamfinders Homes, the official home builder of the Jaguars, just scored big, winning 2025 National Builder of the Year. And right now, Dreamfinders is running its best game plan yet, offering winning interest rate incentives and move-in ready homes available today. With 20-plus communities right here in Jacksonville and over 40 across Florida, from Jacksonville to Orlando to Tampa, Dreamfinders Homes is everywhere you want to be. Visit dreamfindershomes.com and move into your dream home today.
Before you found out about Breeze Airways nonstop routes, your flight up north may have gone something like this. Drive to the airport, fly west to a hub, layover for 4 hours, realize you need to take a shuttle to the other terminal, board another flight north, get a rental car, drive another hour, get there, exhausted. But now you can book a straight-shot Breeze flight to Providence on a nice plane with nice people for a nice price. Breeze Airways, seriously nice.
Jags fans, if you want customized Jaguars furniture for your home, check out zipchair.com to browse all the customizable options. Zipchair is furniture for fans.
Welcome into our latest edition of Behind Enemy Lines, where we check in with a media member from the Jaguars' opponent team. And this week, the team is heading to Las Vegas. So checking in with Levi Edwards from the Raiders. Levi, thank you for joining us. It's exciting times. I hope you had a great bye week like we did. But similar situations this team was in last year. I remember when we played, both teams were kind of figuring out where they were going to be in the draft lottery and whatnot. And now going forward, kind of in the midst of a rebuild, right? So you guys have Pete Carroll coming in. When you look back at the first 8 weeks or so, what's kind of your reflection of what you've seen so far?
Really just a lot of things need to be cleaned up for the Las Vegas Raiders. That's been my reflection. You definitely see some good things happening, and there's definitely been a culture change, which is good. Obviously, Pete Carroll has come in and he has that experience of being able to turn locker rooms around and get guys to play for him. And I don't necessarily see that being a problem. However, I just believe that execution has not been at full strength. I think a lot of these guys are still trying to acclimate, especially on the offensive side of the ball, trying to acclimate to a new playbook, to a new play style. Mm-hmm. I just think that there's been some things that need to be cleaned up. Also, injuries have also played a factor. And it also hurts, when you don't have the depth that you would like on this team, to where you can't afford to lose guys like Brock Bowers, lose guys like Jacoby Myers, and lose guys like Colton Miller. You just can't afford to lose those kind of guys on a team like this, with the depth not being as strong as you would like. So that's just been my reflection so far.
I know you guys had a tough loss kind of going into the bye week. The Jaguars in a similar position, losing to the Rams. As practice goes on this week, what are some bye week changes maybe you're expecting or hoping to see coming out this week?
Really just guys coming back, guys getting healthy. You see Jacoby Myers back on the field. You see Brock moving around a lot faster, a lot better. And we all know what Brock can do when he's fully healthy. We know what he's capable of. I believe we saw that firsthand even last year when the Jaguars came to Allegiant Stadium. So a dynamic player. Geno Smith, he gets one of his receivers that he's best friends with, Tyler Lockett. He just entered the building and signed his contract and went straight to the practice field, already not wasting any time, making sure that he gets back on the same page with Geno Smith. And they did some great things with each other in Seattle. So really what I'm looking forward to coming out of the bye week is guys just getting healthy, guys getting back on the field. Also another guy, Lonnie Johnson, safety, who literally broke his leg in training camp. And now 7 weeks into the season, he's coming back, which is remarkable. So I'm excited for that too. He was a guy that was potentially in line to be a starter coming into the season, and now he's back, and hopefully he can get that spot back.
The Jaguars have a new offensive system here. We've seen the growing pains. I'm sure when you talk about the growing pains as well, what are you hoping to kind of see evolve as the season goes along, as they're getting used to the new system?
Really, they just need to play faster. I think everything just needs to look a lot faster and a lot effortless. I think guys are still out there thinking too much, whether it comes down to, the right assignments in terms of Ashton Jeanty going through the right reads, when he's running the ball, or, the blocking coming together and making sure that they're all collectively doing what they got to do to make sure that the pass blocking, is synced up with Geno Smith, and then the run blocking is synced up with Ashton or Raheem. I think there's a lot of things like that just need to be cleaned up moving forward. And obviously, it's still a lot of time left in this season, so I'm looking forward to it. But it's gonna be difficult against the Jags defense this week that I feel is pretty impressive. Devin Lloyd, who's a Defensive Player of the Year candidate right now, strong defensive line with Josh Allen and Eric Armstead and Trayvon Walker. I really like those guys up front. That front seven for the Jaguars are tough. So they're really going to have to all be on the same accord going into this game, or they can make life really difficult for Geno and Ashton.
What have you seen from the defense so far? Obviously, Max Crosby is always a name that people key in on, whether it's, rushing the passer or stopping the run. But what have you seen from the defense so far this season?
I think the defense has played fairly well in some parts. I think that they've been kind of screwed over a little bit with really bad field position at times. I think offensively, when you have so many turnovers, you get on the field and you're just kind of like straggling along, in your territory, or special teams, whether a block punt or a bad field, whether you allow a really big kick or punt return, that can also factor in. So I think the defense have been kind of like a bend but don't break unit, where they are still trying to figure out like, okay, well, we're putting these bad situations on the field, but we still got to come out and we got to do our job and limit it to 3 or 0 points at all. I think there's only been a couple of times this season, the Colts and the Chiefs game, that we saw where the defense just did not come to show up. They just did not play good football. But I think every other game this year, you could point to young guys stepping up and really playing good ball. Obviously, Max Crosby's doing his thing, and he's going to continue doing his thing. He's Max Crosby. But you see some other guys like Eric Stokes, Devin White, Jonah Laulu, who's tied with Max for the team leading sacks. You see some guys like that really stepping up and doing some cool things. So I think the defense, for the most part, has played as well as they can, considering the circumstances they've been put in.
All right, if you could give us one or two X factors, who are two names that you kind of have your eye on if the Raiders want to get a win this weekend?
Well, it has to start off with Geno Smith. Obviously, Geno Smith is the head of the snake, and he's a guy that is uncharacteristically not playing up to the standard of what we know he can play at, what we saw in Seattle. And there's a lot of factors behind it, with the offensive line and having young receivers who, are not as experienced as you're used to. But I think Geno Smith, if he can come out and he can play the game that he needs to play, then I feel like everything else will take care of itself, especially with Brock coming back. And another guy on defense that I would name as an X factor is a guy like Eric Stokes at corner, because now you have to play locked down on Brian Thomas Jr. And I know Brian Thomas Jr. hasn't been having the most exceptional season compared to what we saw him do his rookie year when he tore up Allegiant, had a great, rookie of the year finalist type of season. But he's still a good receiver. And Eric Stokes is going to have to make sure that he does his job and really lock that down, especially now on the opposite side, you have Travis Hunter. And so now it's one of those things where you just can't game plan for this one receiver as much as you'd like, because you have another young boy on the other side that's going to do his thing too. And Caillou Blue Kelly's going to have to worry about that on the other side. So I think Eric Stokes has been playing really good football. If you look at what he's been doing statistically, he's been having a great season. And Brian Thomas Jr. is going to be another great challenge for him going into this game. So I think those two guys are going to be X factors for us.
A lot of good stuff. Levi, thank you so much. Look forward to see you on Sunday.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
That was our Behind Enemy Line segment with Levi Edwards from Raiders.com. Stay with us here on Jags A.M. Coming up after the break, we will tell you what our predictions for the headlines are going to be on Monday.
Hello, I'm Dan Fields. Finally, inventories and prices are customer friendly.
That's because summer's here, so let's keep it real at the Field Summer Sales Event.
We have vehicles on the ground and ready to go. All new makes and models to choose from, even electric cars and SUVs. Stop searching for your next luxury vehicle and see Fields first.
And get an incredible offer like this.
Right now, save up to $10,000 on remaining new 2024 Porsche models in stock at Porsche Jacksonville. Go to PorscheJacksonville.com.
Listen up. If our kids are going to grow up healthy, we have to work together out there. A healthier tomorrow depends on the calls that we make today. It's about eating right and focusing on their physical and mental health. We should be reading to our kids every night. Can you give me 60 minutes of physical activity every day?
Yes, sir, I can.
This is our healthy playbook. We do this as a team, our kids win. Who's with me?
Get healthy at nemours.org/Jaguars. Nemours Children's Health.
proud pediatric partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Sudeth is on the 20, the 10. Yes, another successful move to a new home. I tell you, folks, I've never seen a team more prepared than the Sudeth crew. With a dominating lead in training, trust, and efficiency, it's no wonder why Sudeth is the official moving company of the Jacksonville Jaguars. For the past 100 years, Sudeth has provided local, long-distance, and international moving services in Jax. While the Jags are moving the chains on game day, Sudeth is helping you on moving day. Visit Sudeth.com/Jags for a guaranteed quote.
Before you found out about Breeze Airways nonstop routes, your flight up north may have gone something like this. Drive to the airport, fly west to a hub, layover for 4 hours, realize you need to take a shuttle to the other terminal, board another flight north, get a rental car, drive another hour, get there, exhausted. But now you can book a straight-shot Breeze flight to Providence on a nice plane with nice people for a nice price. Breeze Airways, seriously nice.
Chelsea here, ready to upgrade your windows or patio doors? During our fall savings month, get 20% off your replacement windows and patio doors. Plus, enjoy 0 down, 0 payments, or 0 interest for 12 months. Our Acclaim Impact windows are built for Florida homes, designed to help you save on energy bills by maintaining indoor temperatures year-round. Offer ends October 31st. Restrictions apply. Visit bestwindowsflorida.com to schedule your free in-home consultation. License number CGC 1527613. Renewal by Anderson, where comfort meets savings.
Craving the ultimate game day experience? Look no further. Cheer on your Jaguars as they travel to Las Vegas to take on the Raiders this Sunday at the official away game watch party at Mr. Chubby's West Side. Indulge in the biggest and best wings in town with appearances by Jackson DeVille and The Roar. You'll even get the chance to win autographed items and game tickets, all while soaking up the lively atmosphere with fellow Jags fans. Mr. Chubby's Wings, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Mr. Chubby's Wings, before the game, after the game, and during the game.
Sudeth Moving and Storage is Florida's most trusted and dependable moving company. Sudeth, proud to be the official moving company of the Jacksonville Jaguars. To get a guaranteed quote, visit Sudeth.com/Jacksonville. Welcome back into Jags A.M. We're going to do our best to predict the future as we do on Thursdays. We're going to try to figure out what the headlines will be on Monday morning after this game in Vegas on Sunday. Brian, what do you think the outcome will be?
I'm going wild out west because you got two teams that are coming off 4 touchdown losses and the bye week with first-year head coaches. Pete Carroll obviously has a long history, and we're just seeing the beginnings of the Liam Cohen program here. I expect both teams to have worked very hard to work on their deficiencies, like Liam alluded to earlier in the show. I think the Jaguars will run the ball. I expect to see Travis Hunter involved in a big way, and I think the Jaguars win a close one, something like 31-28. I mean, you'd like to think, wow, they're 2-5 and they're not playing all that well. Well, hey, neither are the Jaguars. So I think it's going to be a shootout, and I expect the Jaguars to find a way to win.
Yeah, I think it's going to be close. I think it's going to be a little lower scoring than that because the Jaguars haven't showed that they can get to 30. So let's hope that they can. I went with Viva La Run, and I wish that I had gone with Viva La Takeaway, but I wanted to use Travis Etienne as the picture. Sure. So I couldn't go with takeaway because they're not going to get takeaways unless something weird happens.
You put a lot of thought into this.
No, I'm talking about it a lot more than I thought about it.
Dozens of seconds of thought.
Dozens of seconds. But they need takeaways and they need to run. Think about the formula they had and how they checked every box against Carolina in week 1. Coming out of the bye, to me, they need another box check game where they get what, they need to be more physical, they need to take the ball away, and I think being more physical will get us to Viva La Run.
Viva La Run. All right, here's my final Las Vegas pun. Play their cards right. Here we go.
Cards.
I will not be anywhere near a casino, so.
I was going to say I stayed away from the gambling topic this week.
We already got the speeches. We're not going anywhere near the casino. I think the team, a lot of, what they talked about, self-inflicted wounds, right? If they go out there, they play well, on paper, they are a better team. They should win this football game. There's a reason you play the games. If they go out there and they can limit their penalties, like John said, get a takeaway, establish the run, they should win this football game. Now we have to see them do it. So if they can play their cards right, I think they should definitely go out there, get a win, and start the second half of the season off on the right foot.
Liam talked about it. If you're going to do that, you better practice well, right? You better have a really good day on the practice field today and tomorrow. you better focus on those things that they've talked about. But the practice field leads to the playing field on Sunday, so hopefully he's getting what he's asking from his players, which was the theme of his press conference on Wednesday.
It's an opportunity, and hopefully it is a good one that they take advantage of. So stay with us here. Coming back after the break, we'll tell you what's going on the rest of the week.
Hello, I'm Dan Fields. Finally, inventories and prices are customer friendly.
That's because summer's here. So let's keep it real at the Field Summer Sales Event.
New inventory is arriving daily. All new makes and models to choose from, even electric cars and SUVs.
Visit Fields today and find the fit for you.
And get an incredible offer like this.
For a limited time, get $3,000 off all Lexus TX350s in stock at Lexus of Jacksonville and Lexus of Orange Park.
Craving the ultimate game day experience? Look no further. Cheer on your Jaguars as they travel to Las Vegas to take on the Raiders this Sunday at the official away game watch party at Mr. Chubby's West Side. Indulge in the biggest and best wings in town with appearances by Jackson DeVille and The Roar. You'll even get the chance to win autographed items and game tickets, all while soaking up the lively atmosphere with fellow Jags fans. Mr. Chubby's Wings, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Mr. Chubby's Wings, before the game, after the game, and during the game.
Jacksonville's own Dreamfinders Homes, the official home builder of the Jaguars, just scored big, winning 2025 National Builder of the Year. And right now, Dreamfinders is running its best game plan yet, offering winning interest rate incentives and move-in ready homes available today. With 20-plus communities right here in Jacksonville and over 40 across Florida, from Jacksonville to Orlando to Tampa, Dreamfinders Homes is everywhere you want to be. Visit dreamfindershomes.com and move into your dream home today.
Introducing the Jag Stack at Firehouse Subs. A sub so bold they had to name it after the team that roars. Packed with protein and made to satisfy a football-sized appetite, it's stacked with honey ham, smoked turkey, and roast beef. Topped with provolone, fresh veggies, and their new pickle drizzle. Order the new Jag Stack in the app right now. Available for a limited time at participating Jacksonville Firehouse Subs restaurants, the hottest subs in Duval.
Can you imagine rising for work before the crack of dawn? Tending to hundreds of acres of land before dusk? Well, that's what happens on 47,000 Florida farms every day. Florida's farmers work hard to grow nutritious food for you and your family. And you can help support them by enjoying delicious fresh from Florida produce. Look for the sunny Fresh from Florida logo where you shop or visit freshfromflorida.com to learn more.
Sudeth is on the 20, the 10. Yes, another successful move to a new home. I tell you, folks, I've never seen a team more prepared than the Sudeth crew. With a dominating lead in training, trust, and efficiency, it's no wonder why Sudeth is the official moving company of the Jacksonville Jaguars. For the past 100 years, Sudeth has provided local, long-distance, and international moving services in Jags. While the Jags are moving the chains on game day, Sudeth is helping you on moving day. Visit Sudeth.com/Jags for a guaranteed quote.
Jags A.M. brought to you by Mr. Chubby's. Cheer on your Jaguars as they travel to Vegas to take on the Raiders this Sunday. The official away game watch party takes place at Mr. Chubby's West Side location this weekend. And then also today's episode brought to you by Fields Auto Group. See Fields first, Jacksonville's premier luxury auto group. Go to fieldsauto.com. So it's a little bit different this week because it's Florida, Georgia. So the team's going to head out early on Saturday, very early, and get to Las Vegas. And Liam Cohen was pretty upfront about the schedule when they get there. There will be no trips to the casino, staying far away from that. And they're going to do a walkthrough at a local high school and team meetings all day. But Brian, as you mentioned, a lot of the focus has to be on today's practice and kind of Friday a little bit, as well as just getting on the same page.
Well, I do think that's the case. And I also think that Saturday, the advantage to going out there and getting a walkthrough out there is a little more acclimatization and a little bit more focus on those things that we've all talked about this week, and you know, running the ball and knowing where Max Crosby is. I mean, all of them. It gives you one more opportunity as opposed to practicing here, getting on the plane, losing your distraction. I think it's a perfect week for them to go early.
Yeah, you hope, and I don't know why they wouldn't feel real urgency. This is there's a big difference in this league between 5-3 and 4-4.
Yeah.
You know, in other sports, not a big deal. 17 games, get to 5-3. It's going to be a huge difference coming back 5-3 and 4-4. This is a big one.
I also think this is a game where you prove to everybody not the same old Jags, right?
Yeah.
I've heard that the last 2 weeks since the loss in London and how it seemed like it was the same old Jags. And those of us who are around here and understand what Tony Boselli and James Gladstone and Liam Cohen have done, understand that it's a different program entirely. This would seem to be a game where you could prove that to people by going and winning a game that most people think you should win, but won't be an easy game at all. So I think that this is bigger than just that. I think this is about winning, and it's about the effect of the win being confidence in your fan base.
A huge opportunity to instill some confidence in the fan base. Also, if you want to make a playoff push,
you bet,
you definitely need this win. So we will be out in Vegas for the game. Of course, we'll have your post-game coverage on Jaguars.com, Jaguars YouTube. We'll be back here on Jags A.M. on Tuesday. So enjoy the game. Enjoy your weekend.